I've been playing the highly anticipated Moonlight Peaks. This is an upcoming farming game with a twist where you play as a vampire. You can shapeshift, enjoy spellcasting, potion making, embroidery, flower arranging, and so much more. I have so much to share with you. It's a game with huge potential, but I also ran into a few issues that hindered my experience. This video is sponsored by Marvelous US, and to give you a better idea of how I approach sponsored content on this channel, I pulled this right from my email with them. If you're new here, I only work with companies that give me full creative freedom and editorial freedom. This is my way of maintaining my ability to be transparent with you, so that way I can tell you about all the good and the bad as well. This is very crucial so you as the viewer can make a well-educated decision to decide, is this game gonna be a buy or skip for you? All of the footage here is still a work in progress, so some of this is subject to change. This is also pulled from my PC gameplay. What you're gonna see here is from my 8 hours of the game, since I was only allowed to play until day 20. There's still a few features that I wasn't able to explore just yet. Moonlight Peaks is a new IP developed by Little Chicken, and it's published by Xseed and Marvelous. If you use the link below the like button, you can wishlist the game on Steam. It's also available for pre-registration on Google Play, and it's releasing on Switch and Switch 2. Let me give you a quick look at the story, and don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. Basically, you decided to move back to Moonlight Peaks. It's a magical town with 7 families running it. You're quickly going to learn that there's a lot of tension between everyone. You see, this town is run by werewolves, vampires, witches, and more, so they all have different agendas and they tend to bicker a lot. This is where the game shines, in my opinion. It's narrative-driven, where you constantly have cutscenes unfolding, so you can learn more about the town's secrets, and somehow you're gonna see yourself always ending up in the middle, having to help out, despite you not having the best reputation. I'll chat a bit more about the residents in a bit, but first, I want to let you know that I like the humor in this game. I didn't run into anything that was too dark or heavy, despite the game's graphics and color palette. I mentioned in previous videos that I'm a huge fan of this art style, I love the chibi characters, and I appreciate the character portraits. You're also gonna notice that the characters react using bubbles above their heads so that they can express their feelings. I'm also a fan of the heavy use of purple hues. The game has a handsome menu. Gosh, I haven't used this term in so long on this channel. And the UI is clean without cluttering the screen. In case you're wondering, yes, you can customize your vampire. I know a lot of you are going to be so excited about this. There's a wide range of hair options. Some need a little bit more detailing, and I would love to see a color wheel for skin tones. And I noticed that when you pick a color for your hair or your brows, it's gonna show up differently on your character as opposed to the color that you see on the swatch on the right. Besides that, you've got a wide range of eye shapes, makeup, eye color, accessories, outfits, and you're gonna be able to buy even more outfits as you play through the game. You also have this little hell kitten, which as far as I can tell cannot be customized, but it's not an issue for me. Being a vampire means that there's a twist on the farming genre here. Instead of relying on other gameplay mechanics that we see in games and copy-pasting, the developers took a chance to bring their own spin on things. And first off, as a vampire, you have to go to bed at 6 AM. You'll notice the time ticking down and becoming quite loud around 5:30, so it's pressuring you to get into your coffin. The game slowly introduces you into using your tools. You have your shovel to prep the field, as well as digging up blueprints and materials from the ground. You can buy a variety of seasonal crops to harvest. You have your watering can to water your crops. You'll get a fishing rod and a bug net. Right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a fan of fishing here. Anytime you throw your rod, the fish is just gonna swim away. It takes a long time for them to come back. Maybe there's gonna be bait later on, but so far, I just don't like the process. But I do like the critter catching, and especially these skulls. These are souls of people who died, and once you catch them, you can get a bit of a glimpse into how they died. Apart from that, you also get your axe and your pickaxe, and you have this wheel here so you can easily switch between your tools. Of course, in the beginning, your tools are not gonna be that great, so you're gonna notice that your stamina is depleting pretty quickly. As you gather materials and money, you can eventually upgrade them. You also start with a broken wand, which you will be prompted into fixing through the main quests, and this is gonna let you use magic. I've tried a few of the spells. You start with limited mana, which every spell is gonna consume. It's these little icons at the top here. To cast a spell, you'll also have to draw it out in this menu. These spells can help you water crops, get rid of rocks, move things around, summon hands so they can help you harvest, summon rain, etc. By the way, there's also potion making, which is also another thing that I did not get to experience in this preview. I gotta say though, using the controller made some of these things pretty finicky. So for example, I had to resort to my mouse to draw out the spells because using the controller was really difficult. Also, watering is not accurate and farming gets cumbersome because on top of the watering not being accurate, you also have this hell kitten which always gets in your way, which means you can't be just trying to mind your business and water your crops, but instead the hell kitten just keeps getting in your way, it keeps prompting you into interacting with it. I really hope the devs work on these too because this is a very important fix. Apart from your tools, you have a crafting table at your house where you can use materials to create a wide range of decorations. Yes, you can customize your house to your heart's content, but note that items can only be rotated at 90-degree increments, which is going to limit your creativity. You can change the flooring, the door, the windows, you can expand your house, etc. Note though that big buildings like barns cannot be rotated. Outside of your house, you're gonna go to the town center quite a lot. This is where most of the shops are gonna be. One of them lets you buy spells, you can buy barn animals, you can request building a barn, mill, well to make filling your watering can easier. There's also lots of blueprints and decor to buy, so I already can tell a lot of you are gonna be having a field day with these options. And I appreciate that seed stalls are open all the time. As you venture into the town, this is the perfect segue to talk about the map, which is pretty annoying for me right now. So this map is pretty big, the world is semi-open, and this means you're gonna sit through some quick loading screens when you move between areas, which is not a problem for me. The issue is the traversal experience. In the beginning, your only available form is you as a vampire, so you're pretty slow, and that makes moving around tedious because the map is pretty big and the areas feel pretty empty. Add to that, when you're exploring, there is a huge chunk of time where there's no music at all, and some of the sound effects, like walking on certain paths, are completely muted as well. I'm not sure if this is a bug, and I usually appreciate having some times where there's no music so that I can be immersed into the ambiance and just enjoy the other sound effects available. But it just felt too quiet most of the time. However, traversal became a lot easier when I unlocked the ability to shapeshift into a hell kitten. Moving around became a lot easier, but still, the empty spaces are gonna be just that. They're still empty. And this also means that I kept pulling up the map so many times to figure out my way, so this is where a mini-map would really help. One more thing is you have these little vampsters that you're gonna find. They're these little creatures that blend into the world. When you find one, you can pick it up, and you're supposed to drop it off in this cave here. As far as I can tell, the only way you can pick them up is in your vampire form. With over 100 of them available to collect, I doubt I'm gonna be interested in this because the process is just too tedious. And mind you, when you pick them up, no matter how far you've gone, the moment you drop them on the floor, if it's outside of the cave, they're gonna run away and go back to their initial place. Adding all of these issues together, it made it immersion breaking, but I also felt like there's a lot of tedium that I had to get through. On a positive note though, the map shows you all of the NPC locations, even ones you've never met. It clearly displays the shop's opening and closing times, and you'll see different caves that you can explore, but I didn't get to see a lot of them, I only got to experience the mines. And of course, the favorite subject of many, romance. You can get married, there are no kids here, and there's a bit of jealousy, but it's not in the form of full-blown marriage rivalry. I couldn't spell this for the life of me. You've got 24 potential romance candidates. You can keep track of all of them in this menu here. And this menu helps you easily track who you've talked to and who you've gifted every day, and also keeps track of the last 8 gifts that you've given, and it also shows you if a character loved or hated what you gave them. I love that you can randomly see these characters just transform into werewolves and bats. They're gonna also spend most of their time in different areas, but I just didn't connect with any of them. For me personally, I feel like the community as a whole is very interesting. The main story has me hooked, but in my 8 hours, I wasn't invested in anyone's personal story. And it's important for you to know about me and what I like in my farming games. I'm not too fussed about having like the best relationships. If I have that available and the characters are in depth, cool. If I have a really cool story to be invested in, which is happening in this game, then also great. But for me, if the gameplay loop sucks, there's nothing that you can do to have me hooked on a game, and thankfully the gameplay loop was interesting for me. In fact, I'm enjoying learning more about Death. It's an NPC in the game, for example, that you learn more about through the main story. Yeah, I'm interested more in him than the romanceable characters. And one thing that I noticed is that the game tends to have quests where it wants you to talk to X, Y, and Z about topic A, and it feels like you're constantly treading the massive map to go and talk to them. So for example, when you're setting up for a dinner party, you need to go and invite X, Y, and Z. And when another quest is about solving something, you gotta talk to T, U, and V character. I've already seen 3 quests doing this, and I don't usually enjoy this type of quest, so I hope that they're not frequent and this is just limited. With all of that said, we still have a few more fun factors that you can look forward to, and a few quality of life features that I want you to know about. So you can cook to get your stamina and mana back. And you know how we usually have a shipping box in farming games? Well, Moonlight Peaks takes it to a whole another level. They're using Chester. It's this interesting creature, and while I adore this twist, he does get very annoying every time you sell something to him. Like, listen to this. So I'm just begging for this sound to be less frequent. And if you love going into NPCs' homes, you're gonna find lots of attention to detail in their houses. In terms of storage, you have a sort button to sort your inventory, and right from the jump, you can move items to your home storage to clear out some space in your personal inventory. The game pulls items from the storage when crafting, which is something that most of us are always begging to see as a quality of life feature. And you also get jobs from the notice board that you can complete and get rewards for, and you have lots of extracurricular activities. You've got flower arranging, embroidery, playing Nocturna, and more, but unfortunately, I didn't get to unlock any of them in my 20 days of playing. If you're new to this channel, the way that I help you figure out if this game is gonna be for you or not is by going with, this game is for you if, not for you if, and my verdict. So no matter how I feel about a game, I'm still gonna find reasons why you might not like it, or why you're gonna probably like it. So this game is for you if you're a fan of slow-paced, story-driven farming games. It's for you if you like the twist of playing as a vampire and having a range of spells to help you out, as well as having lots of blueprints to craft and lots of customization options for your character, your home, and your farm. It's also for you if you like this chibi art style and you enjoy the repetitive loop of a farming game with the bonus of a whimsical story. However, this game is not for you if you want to have kids in your farming game, if you don't like this chibi art style and all of the purple hues, if you prefer more classic farming games without twists like you being a vampire, and if you get annoyed by a semi-open world with empty spaces, and generally you don't like narrative-driven games where a lot of the gameplay mechanics will be logged behind you progressing through the story. As for me, I think that this game has so much potential and it can become a really good game in 2026. I'm enjoying the community as a whole. I think the story is very quirky and I really enjoy seeing all of these factions just bicker with each other, so I caught myself laughing a few times. I am struggling to connect with romanceable characters individually, but as I mentioned, this is not a game breaker for me. My concern is more about the empty map, navigating around it, the controls and some of the gameplay mechanics that just need improvement. So I really hope that until July 7, the devs can take their time to work on this and improve on the things that I've talked about. And I would love to cover it for you. Next time it will be on the Switch too. However, it will only happen if I happen to be in the UK when the game releases, because hopefully, fingers crossed, I can finally visit my family in Lebanon if things calm down a bit. So if I'm away, I won't be able to update you on this. You can check out the game for yourself by checking the link right below the like button. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon bubblies who make videos like this possible, and a shout out goes to the game dimension, Stella, John, Faye, Tsuki Moon, Jake Logan, Grey Wolf, Blessing, Charming Kara, Fufei, Andrew, and Cookie for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.